All right. How are we doing today? Everybody's favorite stock, Palantir, is down on earnings this morning. Not a good sign. Seeing a lot of the market drop off with Palantir falling down. Not the best move. Looking at Palantir today, pulling up the stats here. In the bottom right, down 7.3%. Well over its average percent drop of 2.2. Mod said Tesla, TSLA, pulled back a lot. Yeah, I know. I was watching this one up this morning over 475. Big drop off though, pulling back with everything else. Nvidia to the downside, 202. Going to be testing the key $200 support here again, probably. Over the past few weeks, or couple of days even, I should say, there's been a big support right around this 201.50 point. Holding up once again this morning in pre-market, bouncing off of that. Turn our music down a little bit, but how you guys like it today? I got a request for synthwave yesterday, so I threw it on today. Figured, why not? Tesla should have been up after the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, you might think so. I don't know. That's a weird situation. I want to see the Roadster flying car. Was that an actual thing? That is hilarious. It'd be funny if he meant that it was flying, like it would just be really fast. I can't believe some of those Tesla vehicles, like the Model S Plaid, how quickly it can accelerate. Man, Tessie, 450 coming up, big support. Let's see it on the book map. There's going to be a big stack of buyers there. Oh, not as much as I thought, actually. About 55,000. It's a pretty big stack of buyers, don't get me wrong, but it just filled. Wiped out everyone that was sitting there. 84,000 volume on that hit. Zoom in on it. What's up, Alexander? Oh yeah, Mason. Palantir. Ooh. Another new low of the day, down 9% now, guys. Sheesh. New low of the morning. Upsetting for Palantir shareholders, but not too bad for the players to the downside here. Mats goes, don't turn the music down. Got to a little bit. You were holding 116, 210 puts. It did pretty well. Beautiful, 210. Way in the money. Got some time, too. Down $50 on Palantir. Brain said, if you turn down the music just enough, you can hear me crying from afar. How's Nvidia looking on the pullback? Oh yeah. 200 coming up, don't forget. Tesla just fell through 450. Dang, the sell-off is accelerating here on Tesla. Down 4.2% now. Gap down and got a great continuation down. You think Palantir can reach 185, Mason? Sheesh, it's already almost there. It might be there within 10 seconds. Based off these 1 minute candles. Sheesh. Looks like it actually did just touch one of my supports, and it's starting to have a weird push back up here intraday. Slight hit. Getting a little volatility. There we go. Some volatile candles here on Palantir. Oh, there it goes. Right back to the top of the candle. Still posted red. This is like the first area of support I had. That trend line gave out yesterday, that's for sure. In after hours, I was pointing that out in Discord last night even. Pretty big. I can't believe the Cowgirls lost last night. You can see it dipping more too. Yeah, I could too as the time goes forward. Every time I watch them, they lose, Demir. Not at all concerned about Michael Burry shorting Palantir and Nvidia. It's a big pullback right there. Brain said, is the whole market just red? Pretty much so. Not everything. Let's see what's green on our watch list here. I mean, there's always something. McDonald's is in the green. Monopoly McDonald's. Actually, McDonald's have been dipping recently. Curious if it starts to come up with their earnings here. Still watching that one with earnings this week. I think that's an interesting stock today. AbbVie's leading the way, though, up 2% on the watch list. Not that good of a day whenever AbbVie is leading the watch list at 2%. How's Baidu? Keep in mind, these are just stocks that I personally like and have on the watch list. Not that I love each one, but they usually trade pretty well. Dominion. How are the oil stocks today? I was wondering if maybe they'd be doing a little bit better, but they are really not. Nope. CVX really turned over recently. Crude oil futures aren't really down that much either. The oil stocks are getting hit. Bloom Energy down 6%. A lot of these growth stocks are really falling off. How's Tilray? TLRY trading down to $1.25 again. They've been pulling back pretty hard since peaking out around $2.31. I mean, to where they are now, that's a, what, 40% drop? Yeah, 45, 46. NFE's up 32%. Denny's. Is that... I saw people mentioning Denny's this morning. That was a weird one. They must be getting bought out or something, right? Or was it earnings? I guess earnings. I don't know. What's the news there with Denny's today? Yeah, they will be acquired. Okay, that makes sense. At $6.25 a share. That no wonder they're trading around that. Okay. Wow. Denny's getting acquired. Okay. Happy Taco Tuesday, Outlaw said. Happy Taco Tuesday. I know, I might have to get some tacos today. We'll see, we'll see. Palantir down 8.7%. Pretty big pullback for them. I know everyone already probably knows that one today, though. DraftKings down. They have earnings this week on Thursday in after hours. They continue to get hit in the short term as prediction markets, Kalshi and Polymarket take over the betting industry. Now, not that they're taking it over, but obviously hurts some positivity for DraftKings, that's for sure, which was actually doing pretty good up until that recent downturn. Yeah, it is pretty brutal. Why is gold down, Canal said? GLD's been falling a little bit recently. If we go to the 20th of October and we go look at DXY, which is the dollar, we've been starting to see the dollar pop off. Now that's a good sign for the dollar, but not the best sign for gold. And we're really seeing the dollar power higher, which is kind of making gold pull back a little bit. It doesn't mean that it moves 1 for 1 against gold, but it isn't the best sign anyways. And that's an immediate short-term problem there. Of course, gold fell a lot whenever Jerome Powell started speaking on Wednesday of last week. That kind of trend is just continuing now. Kind of like gold following the SPY in a way. Not perfectly, but again, close. I also think that with gold, with a deal coming with China, that's playing a big role as well. We have to remember that it wasn't like a full-blown trade deal where everything got fixed and everything was signed and everything's good now, but they came to some pretty good terms. It sounded fairly positive. You have leaps on IWM and GLD. It's getting destroyed right now. Leaps on IWM and GLD. Yeah, GLD leaps could get hurt right now, especially if GLD has a true pullback. GLD has been on a massive run. This doesn't usually happen in this fashion. I do think that there could be a good buy the dip opportunity on this GLD pullback, but it could take quite a while. That's one of the biggest problems. Patience is of the essence. You really have to be averaging in now. One second. I was like, what the hell? I was hearing something crazy. It was the trash man. What was the wolf breakout level, Tom? WULF. The level mentioned yesterday was 1640, I believe. 1640. Unfortunately, a gap down, but it is coming back. WULF is Really staging a good recovery here. Really good move back up. Oklo attempting a move higher as well. Now it is down 4.5% here this morning, but Oklo's even forming a good base around this 117, 118 range for a decent recovery. Let's go check on Ford, General Motors. Little pullback down to $67. Broke through $67.50 yesterday, GM. General Motors got insanely high here the past few months. How's Coca-Cola? I know they'd been pulling back. It's one of Warren Buffett's favorites. Mickey D's, still eyeing them up too. Figured I'd look at them again. Flutter, F-L-U-T. Oh, wow, yeah, getting hit pretty hard, too. These guys own FanDuel, right? Yep, FanDuel, Paddy Power, Betfair, and Poker Stars. Wow, Poker Stars, that's pretty neat. I used to play a lot of Poker Stars. GLD's holding SPY on resistance. The emphasis is on used to. GLD and SPY holding. Oh yeah, GLD stuck at like 362.50. Looks like SPY right at the pre-market resistance, yeah. 677.18, 677.20. That's really not terrible. Good morning, CR. No, you didn't necessarily miss anything. As long as you knew that Palantir was down from yesterday. Hey, SPY just got through pre-market highs. Starting to recover back. Well, I shouldn't say that, I guess. The very first pre-market candle technically got up to 678.60, but we broke pre-market resistance, I'll say. I'll take my words back there. I got too eager. You recovering. Energy Fuels. Yeah, it is recovering up pretty good. It's right at after hours levels from yesterday. It's hitting resistance right now. I have to see if it can really keep the overall uptrend going, if it can really power through or not. Shoot. Kind of sucks there on that one. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm going to down this quick little protein shake. Give me 1 sec. I'm not quite sure there. I didn't even know about that, Chase. Let's go see. Ah. Yeah, I see. I see. YouTube TV. Dang, good thing I don't have that. I actually have a NFL Sunday ticket through YouTube TV, though. I just don't have the actual YouTube TV. Yeah, that sucks, though. I know that stuff can be really annoying. That happened a while ago with Spectrum, and it was very annoying. Yeah, Sunday ticket will still work. Oh, my spy, Demir said. Still recovering back. There we go. Watch 678.50. That's going to be the next big resistance here. That was a major range in the past for SPY. Past there, 680 is going to be critical as well, but 678.50 is officially the first larger level that's coming up. Come on, let's see if that'll post up perfectly. Might be able to get a snipe in right there. It'll probably be pretty risky to try to snipe it, but there's too many streaming services. You need to be able to just subscribe to whatever teams you want or a whole league. Simple. What I normally do, Chase, is I usually buy like MLB.TV, and then I can kind of watch anything except for the home team, which sucks. But with basketball, I know it's way more expensive, and football is like, I don't know, I think I'm paying like $450 for the football streaming. Canal said, lots of selling on ES on Bookmap. I know you're talking about Bookmap, but still. Lots of sellers overhead. Let's see. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's very annoying. I know I have that big Disney package, and then I get, what else do we got? Got like Paramount and that's the worst part whenever you can't remember them all. Wolf at 1616. There we go, Terra Wolf getting almost all the way up there. That's crazy. Now watch, it'll hit 1640 and come dropping down. Back to the watch list today, Fubo. Coming alive is Hims back up. HIMS. They actually dropped on earnings yesterday, but they're starting to recover back here. They're pushing their high of day pretty well. That would be a big breakout here to start to move higher. Keep your eyes on Hims. This one's surprising me today. Critical metals pointing up too. CRML. Buy reach resistance, Demir said. SPY 678.50 touching right now. Yep. We'll see if it can blow through here. If it can blow through here, wow, that would be pretty wild if it started to fill the gap. 680 will be a big range coming up. This entire range is pretty huge, though. Anywhere between here, honestly. But we'll see. Oh, a little bit of red. A little bit of downwards action. Fubo is probably up because it's getting all the YouTube TV people. I was thinking that same thing a minute ago after you guys said that. So what does Fubo do that like YouTube TV doesn't do? But yeah, look at Fubo starting to bounce here. I mean, this is a big area of support for Fubo that it actually held too. Does Fubo have ESPN and all that on there? Ah, I see. NVTS is recovering from earnings. Seeing a lot of good recoveries here. Let's see, NVTS. Oh yeah, really good. That's actually a great jump. Did Navitas halt? No. It was just stuck for a second. I was like, what? That would have been crazy. I got you, Chase. Yeah, I haven't really looked into it much either. But I've heard a lot about it over the years. I know it used to be like more of a sports deal. That was a crazy fantasy week for me. Is it too early to say Palantir's gapping up? I'm not going to say gapping up, maybe filling the gap up. I think that we could probably say that it's attempting to go bullish here. I'm not saying it's going to get all the way up to 198 or 200, but I could see like 194, 195 testing again. We'll probably chop around a lot, though, throughout the day. It is attempting a good bullish move, though. Imagine Beyond Meat going for another round. Whoa, there we go, up 6.4%. Oh, wow. They are getting to that low point. That would be hilarious if they did. Oh, wow. Go start posting on Wall Street Bets if you want to, Brain. Maybe you'll get them all excited again. It's up 9 cents, Mason goes. And it's up 8%. Yep. That's funny. Or he said 6%. But yeah, still. I already am. I don't even have shares. Yeah, go get them all riled up. That'll get it going. GLD breaking down. SPY's still going, Canal said. GLD moving lower? Oh, just a little bit. Just a little. SPY does seem pretty solid here. It's been moving up pretty good. Yeah, kept going up through 678.50. It did start to see a little bit of red candles, but I mean, it generally today is at like 1 or 2 greens, a red, 1 or 2 greens, a red. So, not too surprised to see a couple mixed in. They're pretty small for the most part. We'll see if 680 ends up acting as a good resistance or not. I think that would be one of the more major ranges here for it to test. I'm surprised it blew through 678.50. It rejected a little bit, but ultimately just kept on trucking. Kept on trucking. Pull up the earnings calendar for the week. Show you guys what's coming out tonight with AMD. Advanced Money Dispenser. I don't know. I'm a bit worried about AMD given all of the negativity here, but maybe they will prevail. They are one of the bigger chip stocks out there. Definitely not AMD, Canal. Honestly, right now, I'm kind of waiting for a lot of big pullbacks, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I want to see some nice pullbacks out of some stocks. You know, a lot of these stocks are a little overvalued for me. They have been for a while, honestly. Some that I am starting to eye up, though, are DraftKings. This one's getting very enticing to me now, back into the 20s. Very interesting stock. Again, it's a wild one. It could end up dropping off quite a bit, but it'll be one to start to look to average into. If you buy in now, you have to be willing to give this one time. It could take a lot of time to, you know, play out as time goes forward. It'll be one to sell puts on, run some covered call plays. It's getting to those nice prices for that. Pop that bubble. Pop it up. That would be pretty nice. It would create a lot of good opportunities for the longer term. Would present a lot of fun ones. SMR is going down, CR says. New scale, pulling back. That is a pretty massive dip there by New Scale. Let's check out Visa. So if SMR's down, let's check out some stocks that are kind of like that. Oklo. What's another stock kind of like New Scale? I guess URA. I know this is just uranium, but kind of close. UUUU. They were covering today? They did. It opened. Thought maybe they'd be coming back up here, but nope. Not the case. Check out Bank of America. 53.50. Very nice recovery. Actually just filled the gap all the way back to break even today. JP Morgan too, starting to run. Nice by them. JP Morgan's been a pretty awesome stock the past few years. Pretty insane. All the nuke stocks getting clobbered, as they always do, twice a year like clockwork, Tansy says. Let's hope UUUU gets clobbered a ton. Let's get it back down to 10, Tansy. No, I'm kidding. I'd be happy with it, but a lot of people wouldn't. That is a big area of support, though. Close to 10 to 11. Yaniv says, bull is a buy. B-U-L-L, we bull. $10. Pansy Man screams, buy UUUU at 250. I remember you saying that. I remember that. Brain said Manny screaming to buy Palantir at 9. I saw Manny post up last night. Yeah, that was pretty cool. He actually gave Mike a lot of credit, but either way. Tansy Man goes, I told Manny to buy Palantir. I wish my memory was that good. I was QuantumScape. QS pulled back to 15 to 1480. Pretty big range sitting there. Taking Mike's spotlight. You guys should wait for GLD at the bottom. Too many sellers. Yeah, I would wait for GLD too, personally. I'm a fan of waiting. It went up so much, there could be a pullback. No problem. It's already pulled back quite a bit. If we go to GLD, we go to the high. It's down around 9%. Pretty decent already. for being honest, but not really that much in comparison to how much it ripped. My guess is GLD will pull back to 350 and trade sideways for a few months. I could see some sideways trading coming into play. You go to GLD, you know, it's had points of having a lot of sideways trading. Like within this channel in the past, that was a pretty good one. It got a little bit under that channel at some points, but generally pretty solid. One moment here. All right. Sorry about that. Quick intermission there. Had to help my daughter out there. You're eyeing GLD as well? Yeah, everyone's interested in it right now. Especially with it starting to pull back. Everyone's getting excited. Just make sure you're smart with it. Don't want too many people to get caught at the top. Did your daughter ask for the book map? I had to fix her hair, that's for sure. I went to buy the book map for my daughter. I was trying to get her to say Tesla the other day, and she won't say it. I don't know why. When I get her to say it, I'll get her in here and tell you guys. She'll start saying it. She says she doesn't like Elon Musk. Yeah, probably not. Oh, she'll say my Tessie. That would be pretty funny. Maybe that's how I'll have to get her to say it. Kramer can't say it either, don't worry. Tessie actually talking about them. They just got up to fill the gap up to 460 here. Or they got into the gap, I should say. SPY well past 478.50. Look how it actually moved past 478.50 and then used it as support. That was pretty fire to see. You saw a Tesla with a bumper sticker that said the anti-Elon Tesla Club. Those are the people who bought them and then now they're pissed. Yep. That's pretty funny. A lot of people that hate Tesla now used to love Tesla back in the day. You saw one too with the Cybertruck? Oh, wow. Maybe that's a new thing to do. Maybe you have to put that on there just so that you don't have your car broken into or burned down or something. Don't forget it. Remember how Teslas were getting vandalized and people were like smashing their windows and crap like that? Smearing crap all over the car. God. Brain goes, I just did that this morning. What? No, I'm kidding. I knew you didn't mean that. Hims Options just paid for your breakfast. HIMS. Hims and Hers, yeah, up 7.3%. Nice. Nice move higher. They had their earnings. They dipped. They popped. Then they consolidated this morning, but ultimately ended up coming up to test the highs from yesterday. Pretty nice. They might end up breaking through. That would be beautiful. Whoa, Robert, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Thank you, sir.
All right, all right, all right.
He says... Morning, Chief. Thoughts on XME? Stay blessed. XME. Metals and mining ETF. I love it. For the longer term, if we can get it at the right time. XME is a pretty wild one. Let's measure some of these pullbacks here. This pullback on XME was around 39 to 40%. This pullback on XME was around 34%. Let's just say 35% is around what we would be targeting here. What does XME need to go to fall 35% from its current peak? It would need to go down to close to like $72 to $70, somewhere around there. Which it probably could do. Honestly, you know, given all the craziness here and just the way that things like to trend sometimes, I would not be surprised if it did. So I like XME. I think that waiting for a better opportunity is smart though. Right now, if you were to be buying it for the long term, you're trying to catch a falling knife. And that's one thing that can be pretty rough sometimes if you catch it too high. But if you're willing to average in, you know, you could buy in a little bit now around this $91 point. You could, let's say, have 5 different points you want to average in. Let's say you want to have a $10,000 position. Maybe you have 5 different positions where you buy in at $2,000 each. So like right now you'd be buying in at like 92, then you'd buy in at like 80, then you'd buy in at like 72, and then let's just say it starts going back up. Maybe you're buying in again at like 80, and then at that point you would probably wait. You know, you'd probably say, okay, if it keeps going up, I'll just enjoy my average price being somewhere like this to here, maybe a range like that. Maybe say, okay, I'll just let my average price be that. But if it ends up dropping more, then you have more room. So like, let's say that let's just say a really bad move happens. Then you can average in again and maybe get your average price slightly lower there. But that's what I would do personally if I was looking at XME right now with the way that it's dropping. And it's going to be a position that you might have to wait a little while on, of course. You know, you might want to spread those buys out maybe even more than I did. The more, the better in my eyes. The more, the better. Give me 1 second, guys. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, XME is a pretty advantageous stock here recently. I know it fell off in a pretty wild way, down 2.9% here today, and it has been falling, but I would look to average in like that. I think that would be the best way to go there, Robert. Thank you, by the way. While you revise economics? Oh, econometrics. Oh, I read that wrong. He even... Oh, no. Wow, Tangy. I've had some friends get kind of like that with me, too. Ha, you teased him. That's funny. How's Tessie here? TSLA 460. Figured while we mentioned it, we'd turn it on. Is touching a big resistance, though. This 460 point will be critical to break through. Bank of America slowing up a little bit finally. They'd been straight up this morning. Pretty much straight to the upside. WULF still eyeing them up there, back in the green now. But they're right at the resistance that we've been watching for, 1640. Oh, Robert goes, well, I have puts, so I don't give a damn. Oh, that's funny. That might be one of the funnier super chats we've ever had. That's really cool. That is funny. Well, hey, good news for you then, right? I could see it continuing going down. My daughter is almost 2, Mets. She will be 2 in exactly 1 month. Boy, am I glad I didn't sell Palantir at open. Actually, just under a month. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. You would have been happy, I guess, on that first initial move, Tangy, but after that, it wasn't very good. Oh yeah, that's the worst part, Tangy. Boy, am I glad I didn't sell Palantir. Let's go see how Pfizer looks today. I saw some news today with Pfizer, I believe. They had some earnings come out, of course. What was the big drug stock that I saw today? What was that one that was moving? Had some Weird headline today. Let me see if I can find the headline again. Ah, here we go. Yeah. So they're actually upping offers to buy these companies. Novo and Pfizer are like trying to outbid each other right now. Very interesting. Let's go see how NVO is doing here. NVO is having a pretty good day, up 0.7%. They are bouncing off of a pretty critical area of support as well. Ticker symbol NVO. NVIDIA about to test 200, Isaac asks. NVIDIA, let's see. Yeah, pretty much. It's about there. It'll probably happen here sometime soon today. It does look pretty rough in the way it's selling off. I could see it selling off a bit more. Gosh, it might even try to break through 200 with how it's looking. That would be a pretty big ask here, but it could happen. Michael Burry is stressing me out. I know that's pretty crazy to hear about these short positions on Meta and Palantir. I think it makes sense, but they might be a little too close to the... I don't know. Seems like he's really trying to snipe them at the top, but it's a tough ask there. You rolled your Palantir covered call up to a 400 strike. Palantir. Look at that 204 level here. That is huge. That is huge. Oh yeah, posted gains from this morning, made $2,000. There we go, G-Dog. There we go. That is beautiful. Tangy Man rolled their Palantir covered call up to a $400 strike. Cost me $220 for an extra $3,000 payout. Whoa. That sounds like a good trade-off. Expiration's 11/20/26. Okay, so it is pretty far out. I see now. Damn, though, a 400 strike. That's crazy. That would be beautiful. Yeah. But Tony, just realize how much money he'll make on the shares if it does hit 400 at that expiration. My gosh. It'll be so much, and he's making so much more premium for the extra time. Yeah. I know. I figured you didn't, Tangy. The 400 strike makes it pretty hard to hit that, but... QQQ. Down 0.9%, but looking great. SoFi's down more, Canal said. SoFi. 28.85. Starting to bounce a little bit. Very interesting here. Every time Palantir dips, I've rolled up the call a bit. Always strategic, Tangy says. Man, SoFi really is holding that bottom range. Gosh, that support really keeps holding up here. And the trend. Wow, really good trend. There's a small recovery on CL. Looking at crude oil futures. Yeah, it did recover up a little bit from open today. Nothing too crazy, though. Zomd actually recovering a little bit as well. My ACHR 9.5 puts are probably going to get assigned too, Tony said. ACHR $9.50 strike puts. I don't know when they expire, probably this week, but we have earnings coming up on Thursday with ACHR. Assignment equals more potential to make money. Oh, yeah. That's always fine. Keep in mind with Palantir, Tangi's doing some special stuff. It's not that he's like super scared of it, it's just... Oh no, Tangi did say I didn't see their other message there. I thought they were just talking about the Palantir. They expire this week, Tony says. I still believe in ACHR for the future. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, the 9.5s. 9.5 is a pretty good area, I would say. You know, it's not necessarily like the bottom of this range, but, you know, it's definitely around like the bottom end portion. Closer to that part. Earnings mean nothing these days. I'm thinking the next time Nvidia is going to have a meaningful green day is if they re-enter the Chinese market. I'm most concerned about getting assigned on a couple gold miners at higher than my average. It wouldn't be the end of the world because they always come back. Those gold miners can be pretty crazy, can't they? All over the place sometimes. Even if we just use GDX, just the gold miner ETF, I mean, you know, you look at some of these pullbacks here along the way the past few years, my gosh. GDX will fall from $40 all the way down to 20 and then go back up to 44 within a year. Yeah, Tangi describes it like drunken schoolboys. How'd you come up with that one? How's Boeing looking here? I know Boeing's been pulling back a lot. Eyeing them up here on the pullback. I am pretty interested in them if they could pull back a bit more. Always find them to be interesting stocks. AAL, CCL, DAL, LUV, NCLH. I'm starting to eye up airlines and cruise lines as they're starting to dip down. Look at NCLH, which actually just dipped with earnings here today. My gosh, down 12%. CCL, RCL all falling down with it. I would like to see some of these airlines fall down and get to some better levels. Southwest, I hope that they don't get destroyed after all those rule changes where you can't have free bags or something anymore. CWEN is still doing well. Is SPY going to continue falling this week, Canal says. SPY. Trying to recover back up today, of course. I personally lean towards it still falling. Wow, it did hit 680 perfectly there. Wow, it just bounced right off 680, guys. Watch for more potential downside action. It's not going to spot everything early enough, Dusty. At least, not perfectly, right? If you could have it be perfect every single time, I mean, ooh. I don't think I'd be here. Yeah, sometimes there's ones that are perfectly early, and the stock will go up, or the option might go up 500% from the point of call out. Other times, it's not so perfect. Obviously, as time goes by, with the right strategy, I think you'd be just fine, but... Yeah, that's, that'll happen sometimes too, Dusty. That'll happen sometimes too. In reality, GS isn't, now I get it. Because if you go from the low of the morning to the high of the day, it's a 4% move. It's a pretty big intraday move. If we look at the overall percentage, it's only up 1.7% on the day. Just barely above its average percent rise. Banks are a hot sector today as well. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect every single time. It's actually maybe a good thing that you noticed that, because what it helped you do as a trader, Dusty, is you used your intuition and your charting skills to maybe help you say, hey, maybe this play isn't for me. Maybe I'll wait for the next one. Maybe the next one will look better to me, right? I'm glad you're looking at it that way, though, because you don't always have to take each one. Yago's trying to stay safe. Let's go see that Tesla one more time as it pulls back off 460. SPY pulling back as well off 680. Sorry. Let's look at the Mag 7. Whoa, Tesla with the weird glitch print on TOS. Nvidia trying to bounce back up. Microsoft on the top right, pointing higher here pretty well. Nvidia bottom left, down 2.5%. Palantir. See if it holds 192.40 here. Still down 7% on the day, even with all this positive action here from the low of the day up 186 all the way up to 195. That's a pretty good intraday move. That was a 5% move. That's pretty solid. But they're still down 7% with all the craziness here. Let's check the Wall Street bets to see losses. Oh no. I don't want to go that far. If you hit me up with some funny screenshots, though, I might show some. I'm going to get my ass in trouble on there. Look at Bank of America, really still going. Only if it's Burry, Kramer, or Greta. The top post says, let's refresh like nothing happened. Oh. That's how you know it's really bad. How do you do that, Tony? All they had to do is just buy the SPY and hold. Could you imagine if they just bought the SPY and they held that? Instead of losing that much over that time? I'm just going to even say that they bought in at like a midpoint somewhere. They would have made like 1.8 million profit instead of losing it all. Literally just buying the SPY. Tony goes shorting the SPY the entire time. Yeah, they must have been. I don't know how the hell they did that. Canal said, could SPY hold today? Better see some holding action. Like SEAL Team 6? That's funny. Could SPY hold today? I think that it's possible to hold up from the low of the day of 674. I'm not necessarily saying SPY is going to go break below there. I could see it chopping around, though, quite a bit within this range. And I do ultimately lean more towards downside selling pressure as the week progresses, as we go forward throughout the week. But this support range on SPY at 674 is critical. Critical. There are a couple of critical ranges on the SPY here that have been coming into play lately, and this is one of them. Where actually, I'm going to move the old gap fill that, officially filled yesterday. I'm going to move that up and show the upper end of the range here for now, because I think it's a better representation of the current range. And then I'm going to take that and throw this one down here at the bottom of the range, because it shows it very well too. And this one actually extends. It's so finicky here. Hang on. There we go. It actually extends all the way over there. But it kind of shows that range a bit more here today. You just want to keep doubling it, G-Dog says. I would too. I would too. When will we see another all-time high, CR says. Another all-time high. Let's see. Let me pull out the crystal ball really quick. Let me dust it off. It looks like the crystal ball says around Thanksgiving. No, I don't know. Obviously, it's a total guess, guys. Don't, be a little careful with stuff like that. Hopefully around Thanksgiving, maybe December. Beginning of December, hopefully. Wonder how long the pullback will last, right? Now, if we're truly in a big bubble and let's say it's popping and there's stuff like this, then we could see a lot of issues coming up. So the crystal ball says, Greta, I want 700 by December 31st. Lumen is moving solid. LUMN. Let's see. Here we go. 5-minute chart. $11.40. Okay. 1180, 12 coming up overhead too. Hot Jake said, how dare you? Let's see what. Oh no. It's opening up Facebook randomly here. Greta's in there. Oh, look at this, guys. This is funny. Greta's in the tank.
How dare you?
Oh, gosh. I wasn't expecting that, Jake, at the end. IMSR's under 15. That was a good one, though, Jake. Oh, boy. IMSR's down 7% now. Terrestrial energy. Sheesh. Major pullback coming in. Brutal on some of these. How's FIG? Figma. Wow, pulling back more. 47.75, unfortunately. Polish humor. Gotta love it, right? CCCX is really hurting you. Churchill Capital. I forgot, what are these guys, what's the SPAC for? It's a SPAC, right? That's right. Inflection. Yeah. We always look at it every couple weeks, but I always forget the name of that company. It's a weird one. I can't even say it. I guess you'd say Inflection, probably. Yeah, they deal with quantum. Gotcha. No problem, Chase. Have a great one. Thanks for joining up today. Thanks to everybody, of course. Thanks for always being here, supporting the community. Getting some action in on some of these stocks. SPY really sniped down off 680. Citigroup. JP Morgan getting some pullbacks out of the banks. Go back to checking some airlines. Nothing crazy there. BP. I'm gonna have to pull up the bots here. Reddit puts on the bots. Intel falling down as well on the SM bot right now. 37.50. Uh-oh. Intel with the pullback. That's okay. They've been up so much recently, I'm not even surprised if they pull back. Not one bit. Hey, no problem, Tony. Appreciate you. Could have sold out of Palantir at a 25 USD loss and got into Loom and ended up in the green. Live and learn. I feel like Palantir's hard to trade today. I feel like it's a hard to trade stock. A lot of up and down action. A bit confusing following yesterday's movement as well with earnings. I think it'll get back above 195, but who knows anything at this point. It looks more bullish than bearish right now for sure to me. I like the way it held here at 192.40, 192.50. If it keeps holding this support range here, that would be a good sign for a possible bounce back and eventual breakthrough there. 194, 195. Santi said, how's TSM looking to you, Tom? Looks bullish AF. 195 must be a huge sell wall. Man, Palantir, 194, 195. That is a huge range. It is a big sell wall. I bet on Bookmap it's pretty large. Let's see. Where you at, Palantir? There you are. I think it would have been if we hadn't been going up and down through there yesterday. I think that would have been a much larger level had we not broken it pre-market. But either way, we can tell it's a large resistance either way. Appreciate you guys for subscribing today. Thank you guys. Just as you said that, it turns bearish. Yeah, it did reject for a second, didn't it? Now let's see if that support keeps holding, because it keeps holding resistance right there. So this will be pretty critical to hold that. Same with QQQ trying to hold and bounce back, G-Dog said. That's a big drop off, 623.50. Come on, QQQ. See how it ends up playing out here. Not looking too good on QQQ side. SPY getting pretty choppy as it starts to pull back a lot as well. Not the best sign. We'll have to see. Watch out for NVIDIA. I don't like this NVIDIA setup. I feel like NVIDIA is setting up for a ultimate bleed off here. Get ready for some possible downside action with some puts. Things could get accelerated if it starts to break through 201. We could have a pretty easy drop down to 200 in my eyes. Have any thoughts on SMR? Will it keep going down? I could see a lot of these stocks like SMR continuing to the downside as stocks start to pull back a lot. A lot of these stocks have done great, but pullbacks are part of the game, and a lot of them are getting pretty overextended where I think that we could be seeing a bit of a shift here. We learned with a lot of stocks during COVID that, a lot of these growth stocks like SMR and different stocks like it, they will have these wild moves, of course, on the first initial couple years on their pumps. And once they cool off a little while is where you start to really separate the, the fit from the fittest, right? If I'm using the right term there. Separate the men from the boys, I guess you'd say. Huge support range on SMR around that $32 point. Got it, no problem. What's going on with Hertz, Mr. Wu says? HTZ. Hertz Global. Wow, big earnings jump up 39% with Hertz. What is going on? They must have had a good beat, sounds like. Sheesh, that's nice. They returned to profitability. Oh, now that's a nice headline. Really good. Earnings of 42 cents a share beat the 3-cent Wall Street EPS. Wow, that's a big one. Revenue fell 4% from last year, but it surpassed what analysts had forecasted, so that's good. The highlight of the quarter was their return to EPS profitability for the first time since 2023. The recovery was largely due to lower depreciation of Hertz's assets, in this case rental cars, is measured in depreciation per unit per month, which fell 49% to $273 in the quarter. Okay. So their depreciation got less. Interesting. Man, I'll tell you, Hertz really had a nice pop up here. This stock looks poised. It's been in a pretty crazy downwards channel. Wow, this one is pretty spot on too. If we clone it, go to the downside. I guess it's not perfect, but I'll just do another one. Wow, this is a pretty wild setup with Hertz. maybe create an alert if you guys are interested around $7 or so. If it starts to break out of this channel here, who knows? Maybe it'll go on a few day run like this, where it gets a multi-day continuation, like good gap up through here. Pretty insane. Oh yeah, Tansy knows. Oh, did they, Jeanette? Interesting. But alrighty, guys, we're probably going to call the stream there. We'll end it on Hertz. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Or sorry, a great rest of the week. We're only on Tuesday. What am I talking about? Weekend. We're getting into the fall weather. Hope everyone's having a good time. Go make some chili. Go have some white chicken chili, something, whatever you're into. S'mores. Those are always fun. But most importantly, this is a pretty bullish time of the year generally. You know, November and December are usually pretty hot around this time, so keep that in mind. The fourth quarter is also usually the best quarter, so let's see what we can do. SPY is starting to get shaky in the short term. A lot of valuation questions are in the air right now, especially with Palantir down 7% today. Obviously, this is going to be a big talking point tonight, so make sure you check out tonight's video. Leave us a comment. Say, hey, what's up? I'm from the live stream. What is going on? All the love. All right, guys, have a good one. Talk to you later. Hopefully I see you in the comments.